I was about to spew out some more stuff in the beginning of your video. Just about another thought I had.
Well, go ahead and sit down and just start talking.
Well, it was like, I don't know. I was thinking about if this was actually hell and we're all put here for a reason type of scenario. And I was thinking that, because something was brought up earlier in chat about what about the people that get born into this and then they're not like exposed to the system or they're taught the right ways and stuff like that. It's like, what if everyone that goes through this has to go through some sort of lessons, because without experiencing this crazy shit that's going on here, going on, it's like yeah, you can't really know it from the inside. You can't really.
I don't know, but I would.
So
I'd have to say it's not necessary though for a life experience to go like that, just because of that example. Because some aren't raised in all these crazy systems where they're told a bunch of lies their whole life. But that's not to say they couldn't learn about both sides of life just inside themselves, just based off of their own experience, where they like hurt themselves and they feel like pain and then anger and then this and that. Like, to me, you could sort through all just by feeling things and rationalizing things and conceptualizing things. It seems someone could go all the way in themselves, realize that they do have like potential for an ugly side or an evil side, and yeah, and just choose not to act on that in that way because they get it, they understand it, they understand themselves.
Yeah.
And we're just happen to be brought up in a society where, yeah, we were not taught to understand ourselves at all inside, and then that's why everyone's in a state of just reactionary mode and crazy animalistic state, along with all the toxins. Yeah. So that's why, to me, like, I don't know what this is overall, but it seems, I gotta go back to that evil. Evil isn't necessary, it's a choice. It's a choice being made out of folks' free will to choose to do the wrong thing for whatever reason.
Yeah, because it can be done. It is an option, yeah. You can act on that.
And unfortunately, they taught us to do a whole bunch of things thinking we were right, but really they were immoral things, immoral actions, and immoral ways of living, but we were taught that that's normal. Like, I'll just look at any example you want, you know, in modern society. And that's because it's all built on the immoral money system is what it is that builds all these other systems on top of it. And then everything's fractionalized, bastardized, compartmentalized, and sold at a price because they put a price tag on all of us without telling us. You know, with the fake birth certificate thing and all this other shit. Yeah, it's been created to be a mess way before we came along. What we live in. So that could probably go right. I'm sure this could turn into a video to put up because, yeah, it goes with... I keep thinking about the overall problem that we all have as society. Kind of simplified down, it's a lack of morality. It's a crisis of morality. That's exactly what it is. That's what allows all this wrong behavior to be internally and wrongfully justified by individuals and carried out by individuals, because we've been trained to not know what moral, virtuous behavior is and what it looks like. We've been trained and shown just the opposite our whole lives, Television's a good one for that. So are video games. That's what raised me for the most part, along with the indoctrination of all the compulsory thousands of hours of schooling I had to take. Even our own history that we're taught that folks showed up here, killed the folks that live here, and took over the place. And that can be found to be true. So right from there, and then not questioning that right off the bat from a little kid, to instead just think, yay us, yay America, without going, wait, this whole fucking place was built on immorality right from the start. And it goes back way further than that. So to me, yeah, that's the problem. It's the lack of morality, of just internal goodness that we all have inside that's been, quite honestly, like trained out of us, trained out and burned out by the vaccines and all the processed toxic foods and all the they turn you go. Yep. And all the misinformation just twists folks' minds up in knots. They run around in circles outside themselves. Two things we all have in common right now at this moment. Well, whenever this moment might be, if you might happen to be listening to, which might make this statement not true when you hear it, because I might not be alive anymore. But right now, at this present moment in time, we're all alive, no matter what labels we affix to ourselves or what labels we see affixed to others as we look at them. If we see those labels, I see through them now. But anyway, we're all alive right now at this present moment, and one day we'll all die. That's two things all of us have in common that are in this life experience, all of us. We're all alive now, and we're all going to die one day. So why does it have to be hard in the interim? It's only because others told us it had to be. It's because when we showed up here, we were born into a system that said, here's your certificate that shows we own you, and you're a slave to this money debt system that we made up generations ago that everything else was built on, and you have to pay to live here because it's all immoral. But we'll teach you otherwise, and we'll indoctrinate you to think otherwise, and we'll make you just be happy with your enslavement. See the issue with all of it? It's huge issues. But we all have that in common. So it seems to me, with that, knowing that we're more than a fake name on a birth certificate, that we all do have a soul, especially if we can find it in our inside, I guess, and maybe bring it to life, because maybe it's not there until that happens inside. I really don't know. I felt like I was a husk for the first 39 years of my life. Looking back, it felt like a dead, spiritualist, soulless husk of an existence, because that's what I thought existence was. I thought I evolved from a monkey spinning around on a spinning ball through space. Nothing mattered, that everything was materialistic only, and that the spiritual side was just some fantasy world, the soul thing. Yeah, maybe a soul, maybe not. Yeah, maybe a creator, maybe blah, blah, blah. That's how I went through in existence as a moral relativistic individual that was taught to judge others by labels and attack them due to labels. That goes to my military service. So that's exactly what happened. Why? Because of the money system at its base. And beneath that, because of immorality. That's the cause I see. And that's something I know, because I know inside myself, I can see the wrongness in all of it and how it could go right. And if, it's the volunteerism, the non-aggression principle, and knowing natural law. It's those things. It's those things inside coming together, and then the thought, reason, emotion, and feeling in the soul coming to life inside. That's what makes everything become clear. From the inside looking out. That felt good. It's been a while since I've said anything. I keep wanting to get on here and just say something just because I feel like I need to. So, yeah, that felt good, that little.
It came out real good too. It was well put.
Thanks. You know, my son told me something a bit ago that stuck. I thought it was pretty profound. But it was a dream he had with Freddy Krueger in his dream, right? And that just goes to my poor parenting skills when he was young, letting him watch that kind of trash. Because I watch that kind of trash, and I thought that immoral trash that was being pumped out of the television set was just hilarious. And that having a dark sense of humor was just hilarious. It's because I was a black hole inside. Anyway, back to the story. He told me recently about a dream with Freddy Krueger in it, and then Freddy Krueger grabbing his leg and saying, this isn't the dream you wake up from. This is the dream you die in. And in the dream, he was aware it was a dream and then shrugged it off and walked out and then went on with his dream, which I thought was real interesting. But also, just that statement, that's, to me, when he said that, I said, wow, you know what? To me, that's kind of like what this life could be considered. This is the dream you don't wake up from. This is the dream you die in. And that goes with, you know, Maya, the illusion. Life is a dream. You know, life is, it's all mind. You know, it goes to that whole thing. So I thought, yeah, you know what? Seems like that's what this experience is. This is the dream you don't wake up from. This is the dream you die in. So whether you wake up or whether you don't wake up during this experience, this existence, your soul doesn't come to fruition and awaken inside you, and you die in this dream without that soul to carry you on after, maybe you do try again and again. And maybe it is like being locked in a nightmare. I don't know. I do think that simple concept, that's so I was trying to combine simple and deep into one word, but that simple and deep concept of morality inside, that can be found by everyone, every individual out there, whenever they choose to look deep in themselves and go through the crushing pain of realizing they've been lied to about everything, including themselves. For the most part, experiences vary. So anyway, yeah, I'll stop here for now, but thanks for anyone who listens to this. Wherever it might happen to start, at least I'll know where it ends. So I appreciate it, and feel free to share if you think it'll help. All right, thanks.